I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you.
What's up, everybody? I'm Fu.
I'm Jay.
And I'm Main One. And we're Unplugged, Free Your Mind, a show where we discuss and share our perspectives on an array of topics and world news from an unfiltered, unbiased, and unplugged point of view. Welcome back.
Welcome back, y'all. Fu, Main One.
We are back. We are back for season 2. Season 2. We missed you guys. And hope y'all missed us too. Hope y'all tuning in. And it's been a long time. It's been what, three months, 2.5 months, something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, three solid months.
3 solid months. So
just so you know, that's pretty much how we're gonna flow with the Unplugged Free Your Mind show. We're gonna be out in the summertime, and then we're back as of September. So we hope you guys had a good time this summer. I know me personally, I had a great time. New York is starting to open up and blossom with entertainment and Broadway and this and that. So luckily I kept busy performing and, of course, work, the day job, of course. And having a good time. I mean, it was a nice summer. I did get a chance to visit my new favorite place, and I'm wearing my t-shirt tonight, which is Virginia Beach. It was beautiful. I got a chance to see that big statue of Neptune. Have y'all ever seen that?
You said the what?
Neptune. I think that's his name. I may not be saying the name right, but yeah, it's right on the beach.
Talking about Pharrell.
Who?
No,
not the group. No, literally God. Literally, there's a statue in Virginia Beach right on the boardwalk, and it's huge, and it's of, I think he's a god. He's like Neptune, the god of something. If y'all know what it is, y'all post it in the chat just to remind me. I didn't really read the stuff on that. I was just amazed at how huge it was. Like, you see it coming, like crossing the bridge, coming into Virginia Beach. So yeah, it was a nice trip. I went with my book club. Shout out to the Divas Book Club. I hope y'all were tuned in. Things went well, and I'm happy to be back, I must admit. What about you, Main One?
Summer was like before we left, basketball, AAU was live and kicking during the summer, so it kept the weekends kind of busy, during the week kind of busy with practice. So nothing major, didn't get to do the vacation thing like we normally would do vacation, but other than that, it was good to have a break. I'm glad we back to talk this shit.
I hear you. What about you, Fu? How was your summer?
Summer's been good. I'm pretty much up here in Jersey doing my thing. For anybody that heard about the storm or whatever that was up here, my car was one of the casualties. So my car actually got flooded. So right now I do not have a vehicle, and going through the insurance process and all of that. I literally just got a rental car today that I'm going to be able to drive back. So like I said, it's going to be a process, but everything happens for a reason, and it's all good. And I've talked about it sparingly, but I'm heavy into golf, and I have been for a while, but I take hiatuses, whereas if I don't really play. So when I got back up here this time, I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and figure this out and get right. So I've made the decision to start a YouTube channel when I get back home, pretty much showing my progress from where I was to where I'm going to go. And if there's any golfers out there, basically the YouTube channel is going to be about my journey from me going from a 16.3 index, and my goal is to go to scratch within a year. If you're a golfer, you know what that means, and basically it's damn near impossible. It's for
Yeah, I was
somebody
about to ask, what does that mean?
But if you don't really understand golf, you're not really gonna get it. But
Simplify it a bit.
when you play golf, a handicap means the shots that you get. That basically is how good or how bad you play. And if your handicap is a 10 and you playing somebody who's scratch, that means that person has to give you 10 shots to make it an even playing field. Doesn't mean you're gonna win, but my goal is to go from, like I said, from a 16.1 index, which is probably like a 20 handicap, to scratch within a year, which is going to be tough. But in the game of golf, it's going to attract a lot of people just because on a lot of different fronts. And once I get back, like I said, the branding and everything is on point, and we working on it. So that's the new thing that I'm working on. And I actually played golf today. Like I literally came straight from the golf course, threw off that shirt. I didn't want to have a collar shirt on. I made sure I had the Unplugged shirt on, and then jumped on the show.
Okay, that's what's up. Oh, also, let me quick plug. I'm starting my my basketball training. So we got RSM Elite Hoopers. So I've started that. So I'm gonna be training young hoopers, teaching them the fine arts, the development side of it. So that's what I'm about. I'm about training and developing these kids the right way. So so we starting that, and I got a couple of coaches that's working with me, and I also be helping coaching the middle school team coming up soon too. So got a lot going on.
So do you want to say exactly where the camp is located, just in case? No,
it's not really a camp. It's not really a camp. It's just a project that's in the making.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep. So
cool.
So I
y'all know what I feel like for a second. I kind of feel like how all the students now are like back in school. And everybody did something for the vacation. I'm just like real interested in what y'all did for y'all vacation, summer vacation or whatever.
Yeah, man. It's been a while since we've been in front of this camera with each other. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So hey, let's get to it, man. There's a lot going on. It is so much going on that I don't even know where to start.
It's funny because remember we talked about it during the summer. It's like, man, we got to go back so far back to May and start and move our way up. But it's so much. I'll let you go ahead and tell us. What do you think? What you want to start with?
I think let's start with what's going on right now. That's the big thing that's going on right now is these mandates that y'all president has put out. And yeah, y'all president. So if y'all voted for him, yeah, that's y'all shit.
What you laughing at, for?
Y'all shit.
I'm laughing because Sleepy Joe said, in order to prepare for a hurricane, you need to have gotten a shot. I was like, what? Shouldn't you be prepared for water coming in your house, possibly leaving?
He did not say that, did he?
What?
I missed it.
What?
I missed it when he said that. But please show me the video, because what in the world does that have to do with the hurricane?
Well, this is what we deal with right here.
Sleepy Joe, he off his meds. I say this. So with the mandate thing, how are you? The one contradiction that really boggles my mind is, on one hand you got the vice president out campaigning for pro-choice, my body, my choice, and on the other hand you got the president saying fuck your freedoms. It ain't about your freedoms. Y'all gonna get this. I'm tired of y'all. Basically, that's what he said. Let me break it down what he said in his press conference, because everybody know that the majority of people who are vaccine hesitant are minorities, people that look like us. So basically, this is what Joe Biden said. I'm tired of y'all niggas. Y'all gonna get this damn vaccine. Y'all the reason why.
Don't say that word, yo. We gotta be mindful.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
y'all gonna get this jab. I'm tired of y'all fucking around. Y'all gonna get. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Fuck your freedoms. Y'all ain't had them anyway. So go ahead and get the jab so we can get back to normal. That's what he said in layman's terms, y'all.
And literally, he did say he was fed up with people who have not decided pretty much you guys, the unvaccinated individuals. He did say he was fed up, and I didn't understand. Like, well, it's you can still get it. You can still get it.
How is that following the science though?
On the level of mandating is what I'm saying. Like I don't know how. Yeah, listen.
I have a quick little video that I want to play. It's like 5 minutes. This video is of Dr. Malone. Now, if you don't know who Dr. Robert Malone is, he is the inventor of the mRNA technology that they're using in this jab.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to play this.
Cue it up.
All right, there it is. And I want y'all to pay close attention.
I only object to mandatory vaccination for multiple reasons. I believe it's not ethical, and it's also not good medical practice from the standpoint of a virologist and vaccinologist. What we're doing by excessively using vaccine inappropriately for people who don't really need it is that we're driving the virus to be able to escape through evolutionary selection the benefits of the vaccine. And we all understand how this works intuitively because most of us are aware that the agricultural practice in feedlots and other places of medicating or chicken houses, of medicating poultry and livestock indiscriminately with antibiotics leads to antibiotic-resistant superbugs that then turn around and attack us, okay? It's the same basic logic. Overuse of vaccines will drive the development of viruses that are able to evade vaccination. Now, who cares? Because we know that natural infection provides broader, longer lasting, and a 20-fold more effective immune response in terms of preventing reinfection than vaccine does. No longer effective. Why? Natural infection.
I think it's
the answer
breaking up
is
a bit.
You have people in the population at high risk. The risk if you catch this virus and you're elderly and have significant other comorbidities like pre-existing heart conditions, obesity, or other characteristics, your risk is quite high. You know, it can range up to 50% probability of death depending on your pre-existing conditions. And the people that will suffer from this naive, inappropriate policy of global universal forced vaccination when the potent virus escape mutants develop is going to be those people that are at high risk, the people that most need vaccine. So what we're risk doing is destroying the one really effective weapon that we have. It's already happening. The effectiveness of the vaccine is dropping quite rapidly because of the evolution of the virus to escape it. This is one of the lessons coming out of Israel and the UK, is that high levels of vaccination are associated with escape mutants. Those escape mutants are able to infect even the vaccinated. The vaccinated do shed virus and replicate virus at levels at least that of those that are unvaccinated and maybe higher. They still do get disease, although maybe less disease. And in some ways that might be worse, because that means the vaccinated that do have breakthrough infections are walking around feeling relatively healthy and yet producing and shedding just as much virus as the people that have received vaccine. And so we have a word for that. We call it super spreaders. So this is just, the whole policy is poorly thought out, and so poorly thought out that you're left with wondering, are these people just not very aware and experienced? Is this incompetence? Or is this the consequence of the pressure of the pharmaceutical industry on the people making decisions? And I'm not those people. I can't get in their heads. I don't know what's going on. But there are a lot of signs that we're seeing what the term is regulatory capture. That really doesn't even cover what we're talking about. Let's say undue influence of the pharmaceutical industry on the entire public health enterprise decision-making process. Because you either are left saying these people are grossly incompetent, or their decisions are being inappropriately influenced. It's hard to come up with their explanations. You ask about the ethics.
From the man from out of the man's mouth itself. So the question is, all these pharmaceutical companies that are in line you need a third. Oh no, you need a fourth. I mean, you got to start wondering, is it just about the money? Is it about the health, or is it about the money at this point?
Yeah.
Because with all the information that's coming out now with about natural immunity, having 13 times more effectiveness than the jab, you got all these reports coming out, and to ignore those reports is just negligent.
And what's not being talked about are the lawsuits. There are thousands of lawsuits going on right now. I'll talk about, it's literally probably up in the thousands, where they're going against, whether it's mandates, whether it's the pharmaceutical companies. It's a lot of stuff going on because people they fed up. And what I talk about a lot is, it's the fact that people are actually coming together for a common cause, for a change.
Yes.
They've been fighting for a race war for a long time, and they weren't able to get it. Now their stronghold is people who got the shot versus people who didn't get the shot, and they banking on it, and they keep harping on it over and over and over and over and over again. And what I hate about it is they're making things very, very political. When I look on Facebook, I'm on two particular groups: Occupy Democrats and the Democratic Coalition. I think within every 10 minutes, they post something about somebody dying who was against the shot and now they died, or it's always something else, this, that, whatever. But they never talk about the people who got the shot and they died. I've had people come at me say, somebody told me yesterday, only 4 people died after they got the shot. And I said, please go to the CDC's website and go look at the thousands of people, or the numbers that shows thousands of people. They don't want to believe it because that's not what they're portraying. Tanya just said it's mandatory here in Canada for jobs. The protests aren't doing anything. In fact, she will lose her job next month.
Wow.
Now, the fact of the matter is, with Tanya, first and foremost, I feel bad that you're going to lose your job, but I have to salute you for being woman enough to stand by your principles and say, I would rather control my body than basically get this for a job. Like that right there, I got massive respect for you.
Yo, and one of the things that, you know, the people, because it's all divisive. This is how I see it. It's all divisive, and you hit the nail on the head. it has turned political because in December of 2000, well, before the election, both the vice president and the president said, "Oh no, I'm not taking that. I'm not taking that under Trump." So if you are a Democratic supporter and you hear your Democratic candidate say that, in your mind, you're like, "Oh no, he ain't taking. I ain't taking it." But as soon as they get into office, they change their tune. Well, it's the same damn jab. It's the same companies that making the jab. So why the change of the tune? See, they have made it political, and now everybody else. So, like I said, it's all about division. But to the people who say, "Well," because I see a lot of people on my feed saying, "Well, if y'all would just take it, if y'all would just take it, then we can get back to normal." If y'all. So for these nurses and firemen and in New Jersey, the firemen and the police, they all protesting. So are all these people dumb? Are all these people stupid?
No.
Are all these people anti-vaxxers?
No.
I mean, and please believe me, if you have taken the jab, you have taken it for whatever reason you chose to take it. That's your decision. But you shouldn't shame somebody else for not doing it. And that's what they have done. They have used these people as their marketing campaign to shame everybody else for the damn division. And nobody can't seem to see that.
And I want for everybody out there, first and foremost, if you're watching this show on Facebook, please go to YouTube right now, type in Unplugged Free Your Mind, and subscribe. Tell 10 of your peoples to do the same exact thing. Please. That's number one. Number two, on this show, we don't care if you agree with us or if you disagree with us. Our only focus is to help you make an informed decision. Point blank, period, end of story. That right there is what matters, because they know they can't force you to do this. But they've done such a masterful job to make people want to get it, to tell people, to get you to a point where you have to get it, where you got to choose between your job or your principles. And what I'm saying to everybody is this, especially if you're contemplating getting it because of your job. I want you to think about something. Number one, jobs are temporary. They could fire you at any given moment. You could be dead set against it, and you end up getting it, and they fire you the next day. Now what? You're out of a job, and you did something you don't want to do, and you don't know how it's going to affect your body. That right there, to me, is very, very dangerous. And something that we've talked about is, if they're going to mandate this, what's next? See, you have to be careful. Once 9/11 hit, people willingly gave up their privacy. Willingly, because you were scared. In this instance, now you're willingly giving up your health information along with giving up your body. That is very, very dangerous. And we have to be mindful of that. That's my biggest thing. And all I've ever said from the beginning is be transparent. That's what they're not doing. And a little side note to all of this, people, they said that this was approved by the FDA. That is a lie. If you go look at the documentation from the FDA, it clearly states the emergency use has been extended. By law, this is, now we talk about by law, you cannot mandate anything that is under emergency use. You have to be, remember, we live in a corporation. We don't live in a country. So they're very mindful of what they say. And in the past 18 months, whatever it's been, almost 2 years now, this has been the greatest marketing, branding, and promoting campaign I have ever witnessed in my life. Whoever came up with it, I want to shake their hands. I'm dead serious, because it's amazing how they're doing it. If it's not on TV, it's on the radio. If it ain't on the radio, it's on social media. If it ain't on social media, everybody's talking about it. And they got it where the kids are talking about it too. And that's what frustrates me. because you're talking about something. First, let me say this to people. When you're doing clinical trials, which they're doing now, I want people to understand that. If I'm not mistaken, I think Jermaine posted it. This clinical trial is supposed to end in 2023, if I'm not mistaken. So right now, you are a lab rat. I hate to say it like that, but you are in the clinical trial. When things are going through clinical trials, the first stage of any clinical trial are animal trials. This is a fact. Just so you know, with the mRNA technology, they've been doing this for years. When it's tested on animals, 100% of the animals die. Not 20%, not 30%, 100%. That's a red flag when you start talking about science. That means that if it's killing all of the animals, we can't give it to humans. What did they do? The emergency use bypassed all the guidelines and things like that, and they pushed this out. So it's dangerous. So if you wanted to go ahead and be and basically be a lab rat, okay, don't do this to your children. Please, I'm begging you, don't do this to your children, because you don't know what the long-term effects are going to be.
Yeah. Jay, you've been quiet. You want to touch on this a little bit?
I mean, yeah, I honestly agree with the whole divisiveness right now. They are pitting your vaccinated against your unvaccinated, and that's not fair. To me, it's like, you're absolutely right. As a marketing degree person, this is one of the best campaigns. Aside from when what is it, the Super Bowl come through, that I've ever seen before in my life. You see things everywhere.
This is way better.
But that's what I'm saying. The Super Bowl is my favorite. That's how I'm comparing it. Like, in the years I've been living. So yeah, but that divisiveness thing is definitely, making it negative on one end and the other. I mean, it's sort of like, politics, being left and being right. Everybody who's for whatever side is going to lean hard that way. And they're going to, you know what I'm saying? They're going to be that way. And guess what? At the end of the day, we should all have one accord. And what's happening is, when it comes to your livelihood, see, some people can't afford, and I do applaud you, Tanya, for what you're doing. I think that's great. I think that's excellent. If you can afford to do that. But don't forget about the people who cannot afford to do that. People who got kids, you know what I'm saying? They're making it so hard. And I personally think that's why a lot of people are coming together. I know people who are vaccinated who are totally against the mandate, because you are absolutely right, fool. What's next to be mandated? What we cannot do is be the type of people that say, hey, it's this, and that, giving it all the negative about unvaccinated people. And then that other side, you give it this, and that, and say, don't get vaccinated.
Stop saying the word. Stop saying the word.
Oh, sorry. Nated. Sorry. Yeah. Please do. We need one of those beepers or something.
Get the candy. Say, get the candy.
The candy. So the candy. Now that sounds weird. But anyway, my point is, at the end of the day, mandating it, getting back to our subject, mandating this personally, I'm saying I signed the petition on change.org. I do encourage people who jobs are threatened, who, I have people at my job, as of such and such date, you're on medical leave, and 7 days later, you're out of a job. And you don't know these people's personal situations. They may not be able to afford to do that. But and at the end of the day, they're making decisions, maybe based off of that. They can't afford to make principled decisions because they just don't have that type of income.
Right. And that's fucked up as a government to do that.
That's why I signed it. It should not be.
To make your citizens choose between their livelihood and taking care of their family and something that they don't want to put in their body, or for whatever reason.
I do believe in a safe environment to work. That is priority number one. But hello, we've been working from home for how long? You mean to tell me that you guys couldn't have, businesses couldn't have come up with options for people who decided not to stay home? And then, work at that. I mean, to me, it's so many different angles rather than to make people make, to me, in my eye, life decisions.
But what
you're making a life decision.
But what they won't tell you is why they got everybody all strung out on the propaganda, right? They won't tell you that the numbers are higher now this year than they were last year without a jab.
No.
Yes. The numbers are higher this year than they were last year without the jab. Make sense to me. I'm a numbers person. That don't even compute to me. So if 70 to 75% of the United States is jabbed, how the numbers so high?
And I'll take it a little bit further. You've created this mandate that says everybody must be fully that, and then you go to work and the scuttlebutt around the water cooler is, he's vaccinated, he's fully vaccinated, he got COVID. He out for another 10 days.
But for everybody out there listening,
make it make sense.
I want to put something out there for everybody out there listening. This is first and foremost. If your job is pressuring you to get that shot, hit me up in the messenger right now. If you have my phone number, text me right now. I will get you the documentation to fight it. That's right. I got you. That is not a problem. And I stress to you, stand by your morals, because it's frustrating for me to see constant badgering. A husband and wife of 5 children die because they didn't want to get the shot, and they leave their children without parents. But they don't talk about the people who got the shot and who have also died. That's the part that's not fair. You cannot sit here and blame people who did not get it for spreading it, because one fact is this: airborne is airborne. It's not going to stop. You can't just get it by getting it up your nose. This is the largest organ on your body. So it is what it is. And we're going to get sick. What I've been saying since forever is people have been getting sick since the beginning of time. People have been dying since the beginning of time. That won't change. I'll be quiet while you go ahead and play this video.
Mm-hmm.
Ruling from a federal judge impacting all healthcare workers across New York State. The judge today temporarily blocking the state from forcing medical workers to be vaccinated. This comes after a group sued, saying their rights were violated because the state's mandate did not allow religious exemptions. The judge giving the state until September 22nd to respond. The state issued this order back in August, requiring at least a first shot for healthcare workers at hospitals and nursing homes by September 27th. More than 75% of the 450,000 hospital workers statewide are vaccinated here in Western New York. Oishei Children's Hospital has the highest staff vaccination rate at 100%. Mercy Hospital and Orchard Park facility has the lowest at 56%. Some local healthcare leaders say the vaccine mandate could be a disaster. One hospital already dealing with resignations and worries another wave could force them to shut down some services. Here's 7 Eyewitness News reporter Lilia Wood.
The devastation for the community is going to start, first.
Spokesperson for Olean General Hospital, Dennis McCarthy, confirms 11 staff members have quit because of the vaccine mandate issued by the state last month that is now temporarily blocked. 68% of their staff is vaccinated, but more than 250 employees still haven't gotten the shot.
I do believe that 11 is just scratching the bare minimum of nurses who are going to resign.
Trisha Sebastian is one of the unvaccinated ICU nurses at Olean General Hospital who will lose her job if the vaccine mandate is put back in effect.
But are you scared for your job? I am scared for my job. I'm a single mother. I have 4 children. I went to school. I paid to go to school to become a nurse.
In a statement, McCarthy says while Olean supports vaccinations for all employees, the hospital will be pushed into disaster status if unvaccinated employees leave.
Staffing shortage at Olean is nothing new to us. It's just going to get worse for us at this point.
McCarthy says disaster status for Olean General Hospital will include the limitation or shutdown of some services.
There is no staff to care for our loved ones.
Without a vaccine mandate, nursing homes and long care facilities are already facing a healthcare staffing shortage.
That if the staffing shortage is terrible now, it's going to be even worse then.
Under the state mandate issued last month by then Governor Cuomo, there's no religious exemptions or opt-out options, like getting COVID-19 tested weekly. If this vaccine mandate is put back in effect, Republican State Senator Rob Ord is calling on Governor Hochul to change that.
But for that percentage that's not, it's still significant enough that I think there needs to be an alternative as opposed to saying vaccine or you're terminated.
So you would possibly go to another state that doesn't have this mandate?
Correct. I'm going to continue to travel, and I'm going to find facilities that are accepting of unvaccinated nurses.
Now, a federal judge gave the state up until September 22nd to respond to this lawsuit in federal court that temporarily blocks the mandate. Lilia Wood, 7 Eyewitness News.
So what brings you guys out here today? We're out here because, as you know, California is mandating that all healthcare workers be vaccinated by September 30th. Frankly, that's a violation of human rights. It's a violation of the Nuremberg Code, and it's a violation of the Constitution. They're making us forced to get the vaccine or be unemployed. And the hypocrisy is real. Last year, they decorated us as healthcare heroes, even when we were down to just a limited PPE. We were treating COVID patients for a year and a half without the vaccine, and now they want us to get the vaccine or we're out. So last year we were heroes, and now this year we're facing unemployment.
How does that make you guys feel? Like, given everything that you guys done, as healthcare workers, how does it make you guys feel?
We feel betrayed. They did us dirty, and obviously they are introducing this vaccine to divide people. They're labeling us as anti-vaxxers. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm just against a vaccine mandate and going against personal choice. People should be free to choose what they want to put in their body. People should be free to choose how they want to say and how they want to act.
And what do you guys know about the vaccine? What are
Well, the controversy with the vaccine.
what's your opinion on it?
Well, the vaccine has been known to cause numerous side effects. It has been shown to actually not prevent against the Delta variant, which they're so heavily pushing to get the vaccine to prevent the Delta variant. Oh, see that right there?
What patients coming in? What have they been telling you guys?
The patients have been pretty tight-lipped about this. They haven't said much, and we keep it professional here. We don't bring up politics at work when we're dealing with the patients, because they're the first priority.
And what would you guys like to see happen?
Well, first off, I'd just like to see this vaccine mandate be repealed. It's disgusting. Yes, it should be a freedom of choice, and we're heading toward a very slippery, dangerous slope. They're slowly taking away your rights. Soon enough, if you don't have the vaccine, you can't go to your ball game. You can't go outside to get groceries. You can't see your family. You can't go to your best friend's wedding. It's coming.
Yes. What is some of the? Tell me about the response from the community since you guys have been out here today.
Well, it's been pretty positive. Most people coming out, they have been honking us and giving us support. And as you know, some guy just came by and said, "Your body, your choice." However, we've gotten some negative kickback. Some people driving by telling us to get vaccinated. I'm not against anyone who got the vaccine. It's their choice. However, the moment you try to push something on somebody, that's when it gets fishy.
The mayor is going to fire you if you don't follow his mandate.
Words of anger followed by a crowd of boos as firefighters and police in Newark protest Mayor Ras Baraka's mandate requiring city workers to be vaccinated.
My body, my choice. My body, my choice. We as public workers have always helped, even through this entire COVID vaccine problem, or when this whole entire epidemic started. We came to work every day. We did our job. Now the mayor is going over and above the governor's executive order, which requires either you get vaccinated or you get a medical or religious exemption, or if you don't want to take the vaccine, you'll be subject to testing once or twice a week.
According to the mandate, all city employees must be fully vaccinated against COVID-19, and any city employee that refuses shall be disciplined up to and including termination.
We allow that to happen. What happens tomorrow? What do they look to take away tomorrow? This is all done by the stroke of a pen inside City Hall, and they just think it's good to go, and that it shouldn't be that way.
That's why firefighters, police, and their supporters flooded the streets and steps outside City Hall, demanding the mayor put an end to the mandates.
They have a right to protect themselves, and everyone has the right to decide what pharmaceutical product may or may not be injected into their body.
Mayor Baraka addressing the pushback in a recent op-ed, arguing it would be irresponsible not to mandate vaccines, writing, quote, "Of all people, the union leaders whose rank and file members are hired and sworn to protect the public should know this better than anybody. They lost 9 members to the disease."
We are not anti-vaxxers. I'm vaccinated. I encourage everyone to get vaccinated. But I know that people have religious, medical, and personal choice.
Police and firefighters say they understand the need to keep everyone safe, but they believe the mayor's gone too far, and they just want the chance to be able to come to the table.
I just wanted to everybody to hear that. Our show is about giving y'all the news that you probably necessarily won't hear on mainstream media. That's our job. We are not journalists. I'm not a journalist. The only thing I can do is provide my perspective on the news that we see, and from an unbiased point of view. And from what you just saw from these protesters, this what needs to happen nationwide. It needs to be nationwide protests. You should not have to choose your job between getting something that you don't want.
And see, and I honestly, I'm back to the whole putting one side against the other. You know, it's sort of like it's so easy to do that. Like you're not vaccinated, but I work here and I care about this or whatever. So get vaccinated. So it's like it's so much divisiveness in that. It's so much. Like the guy was saying, it's not about being against the vaccination. I say do what you think is best for you. I've been saying that ever since we started in January. I have not diverted at all, period. I don't know your personal situation, whatever. What we're doing, and you're right, Jermaine, we're not journalists. What we are is we are real life people with real jobs who got to get up and, who have responsibilities. So you make your decision based on that, but know exactly what the candy is all about. Is that what you told me to say? Candy?
Yeah.
Know what it's all about. Know what you're putting in your body. Know exactly, know your own health, whatever, and make your choice one way or the other. One of the things that I disagree with is when the government really starts to get into your personal life, your personal decisions, your, for us Americans, my freedoms, and then using something like my livelihood to drive that. That's, yeah, I'm not cool with that. I'm not an anti, whatever at all. I do you, boo, but know what you're doing, and I don't think companies should have to, tell us or make us make these decisions. We're making life choices here, and some of us can afford to, some of us can't. That's the reality of it. You got some people living paycheck to paycheck. That's real.
85% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck.
Yes.
85% of Americans.
There you go. And
you're talking about 80 million are looking to be out of work. But then on the other hand, where you got exemptions for Congress and their admin staff, they're exempt from the mandates. The post office, postal workers, they're exempt from the mandates. So that lets you know that this is all contrived because they know what they're doing. But what's going to happen is, just like you got these firemen and police officers protesting saying they're going to quit, what's going to happen when those firemen and those policemen quit? What's going to happen when those nurses and stuff quit? Here's another one. What's going to happen when the bloodline of America, when I say the bloodline of America, I'm talking about the truckers, because now you got truckers who are saying, I'm going to quit if I have to be subjected to mandates. So if you don't have the truck drivers on the roads delivering whatever goods or whatever, now what you got? So like that guy said, it's a slippery slope, and they're gonna what's gonna happen is y'all president, he slide right now. He's sliding down a razor blade, and he about to go in the alcohol river. And all he's doing right now, with all this stuff that's going on now, with these mandates, he coming out like he's so tough and all this damn shit. It ain't nothing but a damn distraction from the damn how he bungled getting us out of Afghanistan.
We're gonna go there, not yet, but we're gonna touch on that. And I do not want to beat this like a dead horse at all.
Okay.
But I am so curious to know, people. I see you're commenting in the chat. Also, know this is the type of show. If you want to be on the show, come on, say something. You don't have to be on cam at all. You know, we want to hear exactly your opinions, your thoughts, or whatever. One side or the other is no big deal. But to me, there is no sides. This is how I see it. There is no sides. If you're for that, you're all for it.
We'll let Food tap it off, and then we'll just end this, because we can stay on this for a whole 3 hours, but you know we're not gonna do that, so we're not gonna beat it up. So Food, go ahead and finish your thoughts on this, and then we'll move on to something else.
Man, do me a favor, please, and I want one more video to be played. Can you ring up the video with that chick that broke down about Mauchi?
Oh, you talking about Kim Iverson?
Yes, I want people to really listen to what this young lady is saying. And this is how I really want to end this. I want to end this topic because I want you to see how history repeats itself. I really want you to pay attention to what's said so you can see how the games that they're playing, it doesn't change. I want you to listen very, very close. I don't think that's it, yo.
That's it. It's it. Trust me. Is it?
Your radar.
Well, in June of 1981, reports came out of 5 otherwise healthy gay men in Los Angeles who'd come down with PCP, a type of pneumonia typically caused by a suppressed immune system. Doctors and scientists were baffled by the novel disease. They had no idea what was causing these otherwise young, healthy men to become gravely ill. One such scientist who took an interest in researching the novel disease was Anthony Fauci. At the time, the first reports of the illness, Fauci was working his way up in the bureaucracy of the NIH. At the time, Fauci was working on other things, but he was so intrigued by the novel disease that he began dedicating much of his time to it. In 1984, Anthony Fauci was named the head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, a title he still holds to this day. And public panic regarding AIDS, which had finally been given a name the year before, had firmly taken over the nation. Public panic intensified, partly because of comments made by Fauci regarding transmission of the virus. In the early 80s, the public believed AIDS was a sexually transmitted disease that only affected gay men. But after the discovery of an infant being diagnosed with the virus, Fauci made comments in the Journal of the American Medical Association claiming the possibility that routine close contact, as within a family household, could spread the disease. This news immediately set off alarm bells as mainstream news outlets such as AP and the New York Times began reporting on household transmission of AIDS. ABC News sat down with Fauci regarding this new alarming development.
Given the long incubation period of this disease, we may be starting to see, as we're seeing virtually as the months go by, other groups that can be involved, and seeing it in children is really quite disturbing.
When you say other close contact, give me some examples.
Well, for example, if the close contact of a child is a household contact, perhaps there will be a certain number of cases of individual who are just living with and in close contact with someone with AIDS or at risk of AIDS, who does not necessarily have to have intimate sexual contact or share a needle, but just the ordinary close contact that one sees in normal interpersonal relationships. Now, that may be far-fetched in the sense that there have been no cases recognized as yet in which individuals have had merely casual contact, close albeit, with an individual with AIDS who, for example, have gotten AIDS. For example, there have been no cases yet reported of hospital personnel who have fairly close contact with patients with AIDS. There have been no case reports of them getting AIDS. But the jury is still out on that because the situation is constantly evolving and the incubation period is so long. As you know, it's a mean of about 14 months, ranging from 6 to 18 months. So what medical researchers and public health service officials are concerned with is what we felt were the confines of transmissibility now going to be loosening up and broadening up so that something less than truly intimate contact can give transmission of this disease.
Well, of course, we now know that the infant contracted the virus through their mother's womb, but the damage had been done. Public panic had intensified, and people were fearing they could get AIDS from sharing a toilet seat or even from shaking hands. People living with AIDS were being alienated and ostracized from their jobs, homes, communities, and gay men in particular were heavily stigmatized. On the treatment front, Fauci and the team of scientists at the NIH began frantically working on a vaccine, believing that would be the way to end the AIDS epidemic. Confident in their work, Health and Human Services Secretary Margaret Heckler declared in 1984 that an AIDS vaccine would be ready for testing within 2 years. But banking on a vaccine proved to be harder than it seemed. 2 years passed and there wasn't one even ready for testing. The public was losing patience. Pharmaceutical companies were also racing towards a treatment for AIDS, realizing the incredible potential for profits. In 1987, one such company was Burroughs Wellcome, a British drug company who showed in a test tube that their failed cancer drug, AZT, could be repurposed to treat AIDS. Limited studies were done, long-term side effects were unknown, but in record speed, in less than 4 months, the FDA approved the drug as a treatment, claiming the benefits outweigh the risks. One of the parameters of the speedy approval process was for the drug company to bring back follow-up data in 2 years. Burroughs Wellcome agreed, but of course, since the drug was already approved, they never really needed to follow up, and so they didn't. Celia Farber did incredible reporting on the approval, use, and dangers of AZT for Spin magazine in the late 80s. In her article titled Sins of Omission, she writes, quote, "The majority of those in the AIDS-afflicted and medical communities held the drug up as the first breakthrough on AIDS. For better or worse, AZT had been approved faster than any drug in FDA history, and activists considered it a victory. The price paid for the victory, however, was that almost all government drug trials from then on focused on AZT, while over 100 other promising drugs were left uninvestigated." Now, the expensive drug made Burroughs Wellcome record profits, and at the time, it was the most expensive drug ever marketed. But people were desperate. They would do anything to get their lives back. Despite numerous doctors raising concerns about the toxicity of the drug, some even saying that it was doing the very opposite of what it claimed to do, that is, it was actually shortening the lives of their patients, Fauci and other health officials disagreed. In 1989, Fauci began to promote the drug, not only for critically ill AIDS patients, but for anyone who tested positive for HIV, including those asymptomatic who showed no signs of disease. Those patients included hospital workers, pregnant women, and even children. Doctors were stunned. The data the NIH released was limited, but nonetheless, the NIH had gone all in on AZT. Despite it becoming clearer and clearer that AZT was toxic, caused liver damage, and destroyed white blood cells, the drug continued to be used for several years after, while calls from activists and doctors to study any other possible treatments went ignored. One such treatment that was ignored was Bactrim. PCP was the leading killer in AIDS patients, and many doctors were prescribing the inexpensive antibiotic as a prophylaxis to prevent AIDS victims from developing the rare pneumonia. There was evidence that the antibiotic should be used as a prophylaxis whenever the reoccurrence rate of PCP for a given condition was over 15%. The reoccurrence rate of PCP in HIV-positive patients was over 60%. Despite the science, Dr. Fauci declined to conduct a clinical trial. Doctors and advocates continued to push for its use, and finally, a couple years later, it was adopted after thousands of patients had already died. As Fauci and the NIH focused on vaccines and AZT for the treatment of AIDS, hundreds of drugs went unstudied, many of which were demonized. In fact, the movie Dallas Buyers Club is about treatments AIDS patients desperately sought after because of the inability to access them legally. Many doctors advocated that the best way to treat patients was to focus on mitigating the severity of the ailments that would ultimately kill them rather than trying to eradicate AIDS altogether, that the virus mutates too quickly to waste all resources and time on a vaccine or other preventatives, that everything should be studied, all avenues explored, and all options should remain on the table. But unfortunately, that's not exactly how the AIDS epidemic was handled. Big Pharma got their payday in AZT. Millions of dollars allocated by Congress went to vaccine research, which never produced anything effective. And meanwhile, along the way, hundreds of drugs and treatment options went unexplored. And we still don't have a cure for HIV. The epidemic never went away like people hoped. We do, however, have effective treatments that help people live a good, long life with the virus. There were a lot of mistakes made along the way, a lot of lessons that could have been learned. But after looking into the history of the AIDS epidemic, it's curious if we've actually learned any. Here we are today with a pandemic that is causing mass hysteria. Like the days of people demonizing gay men as the culprits behind the epidemic, we have the media demonizing the unvaccinated as the root cause for why this virus just won't go away. Many hope the vaccine would stop the spread and eradicate the virus, but like AIDS, the virus seems to mutate too quickly. The same way Fauci discouraged and even prevented inexpensive treatments from being talked about, researched, and prescribed back then is the same thing that is happening today. And in the end, with the lack of a promising cure and a realization that the virus is likely here with us to stay, many who fear exposure to HIV have chosen to wear a condom to protect themselves, just like those who fear exposure to COVID are choosing to wear a mask. In reality, our government officials should be working on absolutely everything from every angle to attack this virus, from vaccine developments and PPE gear to treatments, protocols, vitamins, health routines, and repurposing other drugs. They should be using our tax dollars to study inexpensive treatments that Big Pharma has zero interest in studying because they can't make billions off of them. And yes, Big Pharma should also continue to try and find a cure or a vaccine. Everything should be tried. Nothing should be spared. Nothing should be demonized. Everything should be studied. But just like what happened during the AIDS epidemic, that just doesn't seem to be happening.
Now, the reason why I wanted him to play that video was because I just want people to see that this is history repeating itself. You got the same ringleader, and you have the exact same playbook. I'm talking about to a letter. She broke it down. That's exactly what's happening now. And but the difference is the people with AIDS were singled out. So they actually had a disease. They actually had something that was attacking their T cells. Things like they were really messed up. In this case, healthy people are getting this shot. Healthy. If you are healthy, ain't nothing wrong with you. You have no reason to get it, and it's dangerous. Like it goes so deep with me, and I get frustrated when I think about it because so many good people are scared, and they're doing it out of fear. Whether it's they scared they're gonna die, they scared if they don't get it, they're gonna lose their job, this, that, whatever. It's just so much stuff, and it's frustrating. And what me and Jermaine talk about all the time is we wonder what the new distraction is going to be. What's going to be the new distraction? Every time the truth starts to come out, it's something. Whether it's a celebrity dying, Afghanistan, the R. Kelly trial, the fucking crate challenge. Y'all notice how the crate challenge went away. Y'all haven't even caught on to that. They ain't talk about that no more. It's always something. And that's what people got to catch on with. Like, I've never done it. But I know for a fact what the government is doing, they got a big ass wall. And they probably got distractions on something sticky. And they throw that shit up against the wall. They throw 10 of them up against the wall. Whichever one stick is what they're going to go with for the week. Because y'all have to pay attention to that. These news stories don't go on for maybe, 2 weeks? I give it 2 weeks that it's all over social media. What is it? Afghanistan, R. Kelly, Michael K. Williams just died. The crate challenge. the pro-choice thing, which Maine made the greatest analogy. They talk about pro-choice, but they're taking away your right to choose on another end. Y'all not catching on to that? They're not even hiding this in plain sight. They putting it in your face and you cool with it. What I find hilarious is a lot of stuff that I post. Jermaine can attest to it. I posted something the other day. I wish I could put it up here now with Bill Gates, and it showed the 4 steps that they've done with what's going on. I had people like the post who got the shot. Huh? How you like that post when it's talking about you, but you cool with it? But I digress. Hey, go ahead, my man. We can go on. We can go on to the next subject.
I just want to say one more thing, and then we're gonna go on to the next subject. One last quick thing. They can pull this stuff like this because most people. No, let me rephrase that. Majority of people will not research shit. They'll hand them the script and say, this is what we're running, and then they'll run with it. Just like the preventative, the medicine that they're demonizing now, which I won't say, it starts with an I. They're saying it's a horse dewormer and all this kind of stuff. So now you got the Democrats. That's why I say it's all division and political, because you got most Democrats and liberals saying, oh, you shouldn't be using, it's for the horse, it's for animals, blah, 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 blah. But have you ever did any research on that particular drug? That particular drug is on the WHO's. If you don't know what the WHO is the World Health Organization. It's on their essential medicine list. They have been using this medicine for years. As a matter of fact, in 2015, 2 of the creators got a Nobel Peace Prize for this drug. But if you don't go and research this shit, you'll just take what CNN and MSNBC saying, oh, you got these people taking horse drugs and people are dying from the horse drug and all this kind of stuff. So like I said, if you don't read, the greatest saying in the Bible is, my people shall perish for the lack of knowledge. And I'll end on that.
And we got a guest coming on real quick. He go ahead. He definitely hit the button. Kid, you on, my man. Go ahead and speak your piece.
How y'all doing tonight?
Kid Gravity, what's happening?
Hi.
How are you?
Hi,
Hi,
Kid.
how are you?
Great.
I'm sorry to say, but most of these earthlings are cowards.
Okay.
Change is so scary to people, and I talk about it a lot on my podcast. Change is so scary, especially with Black people, because it's safe, and they don't want to, I guess, rock the boat, so they just go along to get along. Now you're seeing that principle is not going to work anymore, because everybody's going to be lumped into 1 or 2 categories. If you're a sheep, or you're going to be a lone wolf. And if you don't have that lone wolf mindset, you're going to be done out here, because once they get all the sheep together, they're going to start stripping the sheep, because they're going to need to eat. And all that tap dancing and banjo shuffling not going to work anymore. And I'm tired of seeing people wake up and then just because you like them on Tuesday, you hate them on Wednesday.
Okay.
So I think it's about time that we really got to start saying, you know what, if you ain't with us, you got to go stay over there with them, because there's going to be a war next year. The midterms are coming, and I'm telling you this, and I've said this also on my podcast. If people don't wake up and get these people out and get some real change, you might as well give up your right to vote and ask them for change.
Yo, Kid, let everybody know the info about your podcast, fam.
Well, I got 2 podcasts. One is Beyond Borders with Rose Gold and Kid Gravity. You can find it everywhere where y'all play y'all's ratchet music when y'all not talking about the real shit. But also I have another one because people said I was too negative on there. So I did another one where I cater to Black businesses and bring on Black content creators to promote themselves. That's called Bet on Black with Kid Gravity, and that's on the same place that you could find the first one, and also here on YouTube. And
Okay.
yeah, so
Put
that's bad. But I'm
put that in the put that in the comments, Kid Gravity, so people can they can click on the link or whatever.
I actually I closed the YouTube thing because I was getting echoes, so I just put it in that private chat. So
okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
But like I said, y'all know I've been in y'all's clubhouse rooms for like the last almost year now, and a lot of that stuff you woke me up to. I knew a lot of it, but some of it I didn't know, and then doing the research, that thing will scare you. So some of the things that I found out just doing my own independent research, and it's like Maine said, if you don't do your own independent research, you're gonna get lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
And it's gonna be too late for you when everything starts to go to hell.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you jumping on, man, and giving us your perspective, man. We appreciate you tuning in as well, man.
No
Absolutely.
problem.
Kid Gravity, you posted something in the comments. You said Met Gala. What are you talking about? What with
the Met Gala, because Fuquan was talking about how people get easily distracted. So everybody was getting easily distracted with what was going on in the Met Gala yesterday. I just roasted it on my Instagram.
Right. Yeah.
But I did that. But while I was roasting that,
No, I was gonna say I was just hit to that myself with the Met Gala. Not the distraction, but even the pullback with a lot of the celebrities who didn't attend, like Nicki Minaj. She had a lot to say about it.
Oh yeah, they dragged her. They dragged her ass.
Yeah, well, they just suspended her off of Twitter.
She had COVID-19, so I think for her, she's like, you know what, it's a safety thing. I have my son. I read a few of her back-to-back tweets or whatever. She was actually responding to her fans that was questioning why she weren't there, and why did she take the stance that she took? Is she an anti-vax person? This, that, and the third. What I liked about her comments was she did not give in to the naysay or take one side or the other. She talked about her specific situations. She did not want to be away from her son. I can respect that.
Yeah.
He made that.
Now she got suspended off of Twitter now.
Yeah, because the bed wench Joy Reid tried to come at her and twist the words around, but I ain't gonna jump on Joy Reid. I done jumped on her on Twitter.
I'll do it for you.
I already jumped on her on Twitter earlier today.
She been cooning since she got to college. So
man, her and Roland Martin, I don't know who worse.
My God.
I don't know who the worst. I don't know who the worst. But
you know what? I will say Roland's the worst because he did that fake wobble with Hillary back in 2016, and he can't never recover from that.
Yeah, he want to get back on TV so bad. He just doing anything. Man.
Well, he was really lobbying for a communications job with Biden, and they said, you know what, we're gonna put this white woman out there. We can't have you out there.
Right.
Oh, you can't have some. I already know Biden's administration could never have anybody like him on there. Although I don't know how much he was supporting him in that regard, but they would.
I hate Biden. I hate Biden.
That's national exposure.
He would have did anything they told him to do.
Hop on one leg. He would have wore his
walk like a dog.
He would have wore his rainbow. What you call it, handkerchief? Rainbow ascot. Yeah, he would have wore that too.
Facts.
He'd have done it, but like I said, I mean.
I said Rainbow Coalition.
2022 gonna be that year, boy.
Hey,
469 House and Senate seats up.
Kid Gravity. Kid Gravity. And Fu will tell you this, and Jay probably know this too. I probably told her this too. Before the election, I predicted that the Democrats are going to lose the House and the Senate in 2022, and in 2024. We're gonna get a worse Trump. We're gonna get a Tom Cotton. We're gonna get somebody worse that actually
I'm
knows
looking at Holly right now. I'm looking at Holly right now.
I can smoke that.
I'm looking at Holly right now.
Yeah.
I can see like a Holly. I can see a Holly Rand Paul ticket.
Okay. All right. Well, man, we appreciate you coming through, man, and and dropping some gems and your perspective, man. And like I said, we'll check out your podcast as well.
All right, cool. All right, good night, all.
Thanks for coming on, Kid.
Good looking out, Holmes. Appreciate it. The last thing I'll put on this, which is funny, and Maine been saying this for a while. When you start talking about politics and you think about numbers, at this point right now, because of what they've done, if anybody got any sense that plans on running for Congress or the Senate,
now's the time.
All they have to do is be swift about mandates. And if they're smart, they'll say, I'm pro-choice about everything. I'm pro-choice with a woman's body, and I'm pro-choice with you doing whatever you want with your body, so I'm against these mandates. They would win in a landslide because, unfortunately, they're making everything so political. That's what frustrates me. Stop saying the GOP and the Republicans are the anti-maskers and they're the people that don't want to get the shot. That is a lie. What's going on now is that every aspect of group of people, whether you're black, white, Asian, gay, straight, LGBT, what other demographic it could be, religious, whatever. So many people are not only against the shot, against the mask, but they're definitely against mandates. Dude said it best. The firefighter union guy, he said, I got the shot, but I am totally against the mandate because that goes against people's choices. That right there, it carries so much weight, and people have to understand that. This is going to get way more serious than you think. And just stop. I just want people to think, yo. Go ahead, man.
We got a question. Mandy says, what president would you support based on your knowledge today? You mean in Mandy, do you mean in history or president?
I think she means in the next in the upcoming election.
Oh, in the next coming election. Well, being that I don't participate in national elections, I don't see anybody that's worth a damn, because we have to understand that seat is only for face value. They get marching orders just like everybody, just like you would at your job. Soon as day one come in, they got marching orders from people that you probably would never see. And
well, you have the entire Democratic Party who possibly already know who they're going to, who's going to be the next front runner. Same thing with the Republican Party. But at the end of the day, it's hard to say so, because I'm telling y'all, what I've been reading is, don't be surprised if Trump throws his name back into that.
That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah. I don't, to be honest with you, y'all know, everyone knows I am not that political person in that regard, but I do read up on it because I, unlike Jermaine, do vote.
Everybody know this by now.
Yeah, I already know. It's not like, I'm not saying that behind your back and that I'm saying it,
you said
but everybody know. But at the end of the day, I like to educate myself into, if I'm a dedicated, I vote. And sometimes you have to make sure you know exactly, not sometimes, you should always know exactly who you're voting for and what their policies are. And now, Mandy, I think that's a hard question for a lot of people.
She says in history, somebody who doesn't get a lot of recognition is Dr. Ron Paul.
Oh,
I would have voted for him.
You would have? Get out of here.
Ron
Paul would have got you out to the polls.
Ron Paul would have got me out to the polls because I liked everything he was saying. Now,
not Bernie.
Would he have? No, Bernie is spineless, man. Bernie is a jellyfish. He's a jellyfish. He trying to keep. All he want to do is keep his position. That's it. It's
Mandy,
been plenty.
What president has been for the African American race?
Not now.
Now.
Now. Not now.
Sorry, Mandy.
Zero.
Not a one. I mean, and listen, I love me some Barack Obama, but it has nothing to do with his policies. It has everything to do with his, him as a person and as a, his Barack Obama. But yeah, I don't think, not truly. Now, if someone wanted to come on and debate it, I think a lot of people would say Kennedy. But Kennedy had his own agenda. So I won't get into the politics. Very interesting conversation. I'm so happy that you guys are out there and you're commenting. And, we wanted to let you know, don't forget, we are the type of show where you can come on and go live with us. I guess at this point, fellas, we can pick up the next topic.
I'm ready to touch on the debacle in Afghanistan.
Oh man, let's do it. There's a few things that we can touch on.
So like I started to say, a lot of this strong arm that Biden came out with is to distract everybody from the effery that he did in Afghanistan with that whole thing. And while all this mandates and stuff was circulating, I didn't see a lot of coverage on this, but they had a drone strike that was supposed to be targeting Taliban and killed 10 civilians, including a father and his family.
A drone strike.
Yes.
This was led by us.
Yes.
We did the drone strike, and we just accidentally.
No, it wasn't accident. The CIA said they had been following this guy, but they didn't know who he was. And it's actually a video.
Yeah, I was gonna say, give us the whole story.
I don't know if they scrubbed this video or not, but the guy he was like a school teacher or something like that, and he basically was traveling with his family or whatever, and when the drone strike hit. But now the reports are coming out that it was 10 civilians, had nothing to do with none of them Taliban. The CIA said they didn't even know who this guy was. So while we distracted with that all that shit happening over there.
So all the things that was in the news during the time that when people were trying to get out of Afghanistan, and you have, I don't know if y'all seen the videos. It was so sad. People hanging on to the airplanes trying to get out. And I do remember a situation did happen, but they said that it was the Taliban that it striked right outside the airport. Like it was them, and Americans died. So you're saying that in all actuality, it was us.
Well, this happened just a couple of days ago. This happened like.
Oh no, okay. So what I'm talking about happened like a month ago.
Yeah, you're talking about August. when we initially, left. That's what you're talking about. But the thing that's not reported about that is we were supposed to be gone, according to the agreement that Trump made. We were supposed to be gone in May of this year. Biden decided to make a theatrical move and say, "Oh, we're not going to leave until September 11th to commemorate the 20-year anniversary of 9/11."
Now, is that what he actually said, or is that what he alluded to?
No, that's what he said. That's what he said.
Because I thought that the reason why that they pushed the date back was because this is his first X amount of months in his presidency, and the exit needed to be strategically put together so that what happened would not have happened, although it did happen.
Well, I mean, when you funding the people that you're supposed to be fighting, we've been funding the Taliban since the Cold War, since we were fighting the Soviet Union. So that's how long we've been funding and training these people.
Wow. Yeah, and the thing about it, I mean, think about it. That's another, way of pitting people now. Everywhere I go, like on social media, I'm seeing where you have the people who have, against them coming out, and then the people who are tightly connected to 9/11 that extremely disagreed with the fact that we came out, period. Like, we need presence there all the time. And I'm just like, first of all, I think, and I'm a Biden fan. Do I support a lot of his policies? No. But I do have the right to like the man, okay? I like Sleepy Joe.
Stop. Hold on. Before you go, why you like him?
First of all, Joe Biden has been trying to get into presidency for a long time. Now, he had policies in the 80s when it came to crime and this, that, and the third. And I do think that some of his policies was the reason a lot of us was behind bars. But overall, he was also Barack Obama's vice president. And I don't think that he didn't get to do much when he was in vice presidency. But I felt like, what? Him as president is 110% better than Trump. I like him because I like his personality. This has nothing to do with his policies as of yet, because I'm always not on board for the Democratic Party. I'm just not. But overall, when we look at what that party choose, what do you do? Who do you choose? They're not going to. What other choice are we left?
Let me ask you a question. If Trump didn't tweet so much, would you have the same attitude? Because that's pretty much what a lot of people.
I knew Trump's policies very well.
He just tweeted stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of tweeting stupid shit.
Trump. See, the thing about me, in order to lead a country, you just don't need to have your policies all together, but there are so many different aspects of being a leader. Jermaine, you know that. Leaders, let me tell you something. You really have to nail down a few key things with being a leader. And Trump just wasn't. He just wasn't. Trump was petty. He was petty, and he ran the country like a business, although it is. We know that. No one's ignorant to that. But my point is, at some point, you got to kind of pull back, and certain things you can't say, do, or whatever.
Like, I'm tired of your shit. This ain't about freedoms and choice. Shit like that.
No, I ain't getting, no. Now, come on. Now.
I mean, that's dumb shit. I mean, that's some shit that a president has never, we ain't never heard a president say no shit like that. Ever.
I can tell you one thing a president did say one time, and it's funny because I was just watching like his entire presidency, and I wasn't about his policies either. I'll quote it at the end of the show, and then we'll reference this back. But to get us back on target, I mean, I think Biden and Kamala, and I did see what Kid Gravity posted about the names. I thought that was so funny, but to me, I think he handled Afghanistan in a way that I think his administration could. I don't think that there was never an easy come out of Afghanistan. Why did Trump even make that? And I want y'all to think about this. Trump also did some other things to set up that pulling out of Afghanistan. Like he did some opposite stuff.
Well, no. Now I don't know where you got that report from, but Trump had been trying to get us out of Afghanistan since 2020. And you know who blocked him? Congress. Democratic Congress, the Pentagon blocked it. We were supposed to been. He wanted us. He been one. Now this is not me caping for Trump because I can give a fuck about that.
I know.
But from all reports, we're saying he was trying to pull us out, and the Congress was blocking it. The Pentagon was blocking it. You had generals blocking it. Because they want to stay at war, because they are warmongers. They profit off of war. Right now, you got the head of the Pentagon used to be on Raytheon's board. Raytheon is a goddamn weapons company. Who benefits from that? From us being over there more than Raytheon. But he's now the head of the Pentagon. So see how this shit fucking damn happen? They go like this. They pick somebody and they say, oh, you used to be on the board? Okay, yeah, we're going to put you in that position. Oh, you used to work for the FDA? Oh, we're going to put you right there. Oh, it's nothing but political theater. And
I got 2 points to touch on what's being said right now.
Okay.
We live in a country where people are so quick to forget about things. And Jermaine brought this to my attention. They said on September 11th, the man who said there were weapons of mass destruction gave a speech. And the Democrats were happy with his speech. I want to be clear about something. The man who put us in an unnecessary war, who went there for nothing and should be brought up on war crimes, this man has been praised for his speech on September 11th when he was one of the causes of it. Are you fucking serious? Like, only in America. That's some what's the name shit.
Look, if you're gonna cause it, you gotta be able to be diplomatic and give people reasons what it is. In other words, you got to be able to schmooze them into what it is you're about to do.
No, but the point is, how was the man who pretty much caused the September 11th attack?
Now, are we talking about the same person?
We talk about Bush.
Bush, okay. Sorry, just making sure.
So I'm baffled how in this country, with everybody being so divisive, if you had a problem with Bush when he was president and all the shit that he did that was stupid, you gonna praise him on a September 11th speech? And something else that people tend to forget, then they probably not paying attention to this. They very strategic with what they do. While 45 was in office, Anything he said, if you were a hardcore Democrat, you were against. So as soon as Biden got in office, whatever he said, even though it might be morally right, even though the shit might make sense, because 45 said it, you're against it. They did that shit masterfully. And I respect them for it, because it's sad that that's how it was and that's how it is. But people fall for these goddamn chess moves. Matter of fact, these moves ain't even chess. This shit checkers.
Hey.
They playing checkers and cats. Man, they getting kinged all day long, and it's sad, yo.
Hey, Kid Gravity over here dropping crazy. Y'all better be looking in this chat, because Kid Gravity is killing y'all with the game. He killing y'all with the knowledge over here. But this article that I got put up, this is what I was talking about when it says Trump administration had set the pullout date for May 1st. Biden's decision to delay at the end of war another 5 months. The symbolic date, 20 years to the day of the historic terrorist attack on the World Trade Center.
Now, just to be clear, in case y'all not reading it, Kid Gravity said, and this is what 45 did. He got HBCUs permanent funded, 3 top black recruits in football, basketball going to HBCUs, lowest black male unemployment in history. We got a CJ, criminal justice reform, 90% of releases were black. More money black veterans solely needed. He saved money black kids from being trafficked. Operation Talon, might want to look that up. He helped begin a blueprint for black people to get reparations and capital injections. And he said let me go back. Over a decade using a framework from a rapper and businessman and 2 prominent black minds. He inspired a voting bloc largely ignored in the community. Young black conservatives got black people. What y'all need to understand is this. If you so political, you get ready for 2022. Get ready. They coming hard. And it's going to be crazy.
I want to say this, though. A lot of those things Trump had to do. His administration was smart enough to know that you're coming behind a black president. If you want the support of black people, knowing your own personal history with black people, you have got to put your best foot forward. I'm not saying that he did it in vain. I'm not saying that he did it just because of that. But what I'm saying is in policy, there is something called strategy.
I'm glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that, because you are so right. And you know what? What all did the Democrats do to combat that? All they said is, we got to get him out. We got to get him out because he tweet too much. He's a bad guy.
And look at his past. He don't like black folks.
No policy for black people. Nothing. Y'all suppose we vote 85 to 90%. What black people vote 85 to 90% for the Democrats, but no policy set in place. Nothing specifically for black people. But guess Asians get executive orders, all kind of stuff. So how the Democrats drop the ball? They drop the ball on purpose because they don't give a fuck about y'all. But
how did they pick that? But in terms of strategy for the Democrats, how did they pick that ball up though, Jermaine?
How do they pick it? How do they pick it up?
What's that front that happened where they picked that black agenda up?
Oh no! Well, what they do is they say they're gonna pick up a black agenda, but all they end up doing is giving us symbolic shit. So they'll give us Juneteenth.
No. 2 words. What's her name?
What? Oh, Kamala Harris. Oh yeah. What? Symbology.
Woman?
That's what
heritage.
The Democratic Party is about symbology. That's all.
And what you just said is not correct, because she is a self-proclaimed Indian American.
Yep.
Who black actually knew what you just said. What people see sometimes, I think, is the way they go. And that agenda was pushed. She is of a black heritage. She's black.
But that,
I'm not saying that that's, I'm not dispelling what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, I know how some of these people are. A lot of people voted for Barack just because he was black.
But Jay, but that's to our detriment, right? Because they can put any, and that's what they have been doing for the last 40 plus years, is putting somebody black up there and saying, hey, we got somebody black in position. Then we go, oh shit, party time, it's party time. And then when it's time for damn policies and shit to happen that come for us, is nothing. It's crickets. So
Clara said, "What's interesting
when this next election comes up?
Yeah,
I guarantee you, without a doubt, voter turnout amongst black people is going to be low as fuck. I guarantee it's either going to be low as fuck.
I beg to differ.
Oh wait, it's going to be low as fuck, or they're going to get a jump for black Republicans. Watch.
So Clara Johnson in the chat, she said, what's interesting about presidents, that's Democrats or Republican, where's the improvement in growth? Same agenda every 4 years, just a different delivery. And you just hit that on the nail, Clara. Thank you for listening in on Unplugged.
Yes, she did.
You might be just right.
This don't like even with what we have going on, and Kid Gravity just touched on it again. When you start talking about midterm elections, voter turnout is usually lower, especially when it comes to our people. In these midterms, you know who coming out? Those Republicans that they keep saying are against all of this. You know who's going to come out? Because now talking points are going to be major. Talking points are going to be major. Anybody that talks about against these if a Republican talks out against these mandates, I guarantee you black people who are against the mandates are going to vote Republican. It's about to get ugly.
It can definitely swing that way.
Let me hip y'all to some game, right? So the government is controlled by the Democrats right now, right? So every turn you make as far as when it comes to policy or legislation, it first started with the parliamentarian person. They blocked the $15 minimum wage or whatever. So what's going to happen? So they do this because guess what's going to happen when they lose a branch of the government? Then they'll say, oh, well, we couldn't do nothing because the Republicans blocked it. But now that they got the House, they should be pushing all their legislation. This is the time they should be pushing everything that they want to get passed through. This is the perfect time. But guess what they're not doing? They're not pushing no legislation because you know why? They don't want to, because they want the Republicans to take over either the House or the Senate so they can have a reason not to do shit for your ass.
And I want to, and with me being up here in Jersey, and this is something that I've told a number of people. What has allegedly been sitting on Mitch McConnell's desk for years? A jobs bill, an infrastructure bill. And that up here in New Jersey, well, what recently happened a couple weeks ago with that flood, it had absolutely nothing to do with rain. It had absolutely nothing to do with Mother Nature. I'm a witness to it because the house that I'm currently in, right next door, I'm talking about I could damn near touch it when I step out the door, is a damn creek. The water was going towards the creek, not away from it. The creek never got high. That means the sewer system is shit. When you looked up the street, water was coming out of the ground. Damn the water coming from the sky. So what if an infrastructure bill was created? That means jobs are created. That means in the area where these jobs are created, the economy is going to boom because people got to eat, they got to shop, and they have to stay there. If they decided to fix just the sewer system in New Jersey and New York, it will be fucking bums that would have jobs because a lot of them are skilled workers. But this ain't talked about, and they're not going to pass that because it's too much like right, and it would help too many people. They want to do whatever they can to keep people down because if people are down, you need them. That's the part that people not getting. And that's the shit that frustrates me, because it's not that hard to see that if we actually banded together, I'm talking about people in general, we wouldn't be dealing with this shit. But nobody wants to do it because so many people are selfish and they are about themselves.
Hey, here's another thing. When people are down, they're willing to take anything. So if I'm down on my luck, when you throw me any little thing, I'm taking it.
Yeah. Survival. That's what that's about. Such good conversation, y'all. I'm so looking forward to the upcoming weeks. What y'all think?
Yeah, man. Good. First, this is a great comeback show. Great comeback.
Absolutely. So listen, in the time that we do have left, y'all know me, I'm all about that entertainment. I need to go ahead and get this entertainment in. Who all watched Versus last night? I wish we had controls for birds chirping.
Crickets.
So last night it was Ja Rule and Fat Joe. They were at the Barclays Center, I'm sorry. And I had a friend of mine who attended live, and he sent a video and he was like, "Oh, this is just a concert." But he said, "You know what? At the end of the day, Jermaine, did you hear what I just said? Here we go.
Yeah.
Ja Rule won. I couldn't fathom that.
Why?
Well, one, I don't know a lot of Fat Joe's music. I know a lot of Ja Rule's music because of Ashanti. Y'all know me, I'm into R&B, but I just didn't see that. I did catch just a snippet. I think I watched it for a good 20, 30 minutes. It just wasn't interesting to me. It wasn't an interesting versus.
Fat Joe got hits, but he ain't got as many hits as Ja Rule, man.
I don't think he has I don't think he has the catalog that he does.
From 99 to 2001, 2, shit, Ja Rule ran hip hop.
Yeah, Kid Gravity said Ja is the better performer. And he put on a show last night. Now, I must admit, he had Lil Mo on there and everything. It was actually... man.
She can sing her ass off.
She still sound like herself and she still look like herself. I don't know what that girl is doing, but she ain't aging. And I'm gonna move through this kind of quick because it's so much that I want to get through. And I know I can save some of it for Wednesday, but I just gotta ask these major questions. What did you guys think about Donda? That is Kanye West. Donda.
I haven't listened to Donda.
So Kanye West just released his album. Literally 2 weeks ago, I was leaving Augusta and Amazon Music made it available when it was released. It was his whole album. It's about, I don't know, 20 something songs, maybe a little bit less. I don't know. I listened to it.
Thumbs down.
Sorry, Kanye. Sometimes I think there is a such thing as just getting way too into yourself, like way too. Sometimes I feel like once you have that niche, you got to stick with it. But this album was nothing like his past albums. Literally, did you hear what I was just doing? Donda.
Yeah.
That's the first song. A person on the mic just saying his mom's name. Shout out to Kanye West, though, for really trying to get this together. But ain't nothing to it tight. Y'all know Drake released his album.
I did listen to Drake's album.
You give me your thoughts because I haven't listened to it yet.
It's too much goddamn singing. I'm like, damn, ain't you a rapper? I'm like, it was like one song where he's snapping, he had some bars or whatever, and then the next 5 songs like he's singing. I'm like, God damn, bro. I'm like, and I listened to it one time through, and then I was like,
You was over it. And that's can I tell you though that's odd because normally Drake is kind of on his thing where back to back to back. He have albums where you can listen to you can vibe to the whole thing. So I'm so surprised, but I'm still going to listen to it just because I am a fan of Drake. Did y'all see that, they had a little battle thing going on social media between him and Kanye West?
I heard a YouTuber say he does like hip hop commentary. He said Drake's album sounds like if somebody tried to make a Drake album.
Listen, then that's what Kanye's album was. Like somebody was trying to do Kanye, but it was just, maybe we just don't get it yet. You know how sometimes it takes a while for, these songs to become hits on the radio before you actually get your vibe to it. But I feel like this. If no one has already did a dance on TikTok, I don't think it's too much to that album. Some type of viral dance or whatever. So listen, that's all I wanted to really touch on, because I honestly thought that whole battle between them, Kanye putting Drake's what did he put his address out on social media. Just they going back and forth. I just want people to know this. Much like politics, this is strategy and marketing. So don't get too involved in it. It is what it is. It's a ploy to get you to listen to their albums, buy the albums or whatever, and don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe.
On the music tip though, album that trumped both of those albums that nobody talking about. AZ put out his new album, Do or Die Part 2, classic.
Wait.
Oh, I heard, I knew he was making it, but I didn't know it came out.
Classic. AZ classic. This New York hip hop. He was part of the firm. Back in the day
with Nas.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He's one of the most lyrical MCs ever, and he's very underrated. Like cats don't really talk about him like that. But if you said that, and I don't get albums like that, I'll go ahead and with it.
Now you gotta listen to it.
He got a song with Jaheim that's tough. It's tough.
Jaheim is back.
Listen, go find it on YouTube.
What's the
video,
name of the album?
Do or Die 2.
Do or Die 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
But him and Jaheim got a video out, and that song is tough. So yeah, go check that album out. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Listen, this is it for entertainment, y'all. Y'all know I have to get it in, because I do have people sometimes literally message me telling me you should talk about this and this and that, because I'm really not out in the hip hop world a lot. I'm kind of sort of in my own little silo sometimes. So I do appreciate you guys when you hit me up and say, hey, touch on this and touch on that. So I just wanted to put that out there. And man, this was such a good show. I'm so happy to be back.
Hey, we are happy to be back. Happy you're back. Happy Food's back. Everybody's safe. So we'll see y'all next Wednesday.
Yeah.
And whoever just gave us some love, I just saw it pop up on the screen. We definitely appreciate it.
Thank you.
We want y'all help. Tell everybody to go subscribe to our channel on YouTube, because we want to be at 1,000 within the next month. And I don't think that's hard. It's not hard. If 10 people tell 10 people and you do that enough, 1,000 is going to be quick, because the message that we have, people need to hear, considering all the, I'm going to say, hogwash that you get on TV and mainstream media. And we understand we have to be our own media. We get that. We understand that. And, we're going to be coming back. We're coming back with as much fire as we had in the beginning. We will have guests and things like that. We will be talking about a bunch of topics. And feel free to hit us up if y'all want us to touch on something. We don't have a problem with that either. And we're going to make sure that the guests that we have are going to be as influential and as helpful as possible with helping you live your life to the best of your ability. And I would just tell everybody, stop saying and believing that you only live once. That's a fucking lie. You only die once. You live every single day. Live your life the way you want to live it, not dictated by what anybody else wants to say, because you can't sit there and say, on one hand, I'm grown, I'm an adult, but you listening to what motherfuckers telling you what to do. That makes no sense to me. I'm sorry. I can't fathom that. Live your life the way you want to. We definitely appreciate each and every one of y'all. There is no us without you. If you got any value from this, share this video. Share it, whether it's YouTube, whether it's on Facebook, whatever you want to do. Make sure you put it out. Make sure you check out Kid Gravity's podcast and everything like that. And we look forward to y'all. We most definitely see y'all next week.
And if you heard anything on here that's contrary to your beliefs, to your understanding of anything, please go back, listen to the watch the video, and if you heard something that you might not have known, go look it up, go check it out. Do a quick DuckDuckGo. Don't use Google. We don't use Google. We use DuckDuckGo. And just check it out, and then you can see for yourself. You can say, I can smoke a bag of that, or you can say, I don't fuck with that. And then, but just go look it up for yourself.
So y'all have a good night. Like I said, there's no us without you, and we will see y'all next week.
Yes. Good night, y'all.
I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you.